that good may come, whose damnation is just. In this verse, Paul drives his argument to its logic, yet untenable conclusion. This is called an argumentum ad absurdum. If sin magnifies the glory of God, then the more sin, the more glory. Some had falsely accused Paul of teaching this absurdity. It was ridiculous, for it was Paul who insisted that God must judge sin. As surely as there is sin, there must be judgment. You see, this facetious type of argument which Paul has met here makes a ribosphere a saint. In the name of utilitarianism, it's the old bromide that the end justifies the means. Now we come to this section where we have the accusation of guilt by God against mankind. Paul is going to conclude this section on sin by bringing mankind up before the judge of all the earth, and the accusation of guilty is made by God against all mankind, both Jew and Gentile, black and white, male and female, rich and poor. It doesn't make any difference who you are. If we belong to the human race, you and I stand guilty before God, and then Paul is going to take us to God's clinic. It's a real spiritual clinic, and the great physician is going to look at us. We see that there are 14 different charges made, 6 of them before the judgment, and the other 8 before the great physician who says we're sick. In fact, we're sick nigh unto death. To tell the truth, we are dead in trespasses and sins. That is our condition. Verse 9. What then? Are we better than they? No, in no wise. For we have before proved, both Jews and Gentiles, that they are all under sin. Now, Paul does not mean prove here. That word is a little too strong. It means that it does not have quite that shade of meaning, because Paul is not trying to prove men a sinner. Rather, he is showing God's judges sin. He assumes man is a sinner, and you don't have to assume it. It is evident. He is merely stating that which is very obvious today. The better word is changed. For we have been changed, both Jew and Gentile, that they are all under sin. He is just stating the case, by the way, that it doesn't make any difference who we are today, high or low, rich or poor, good or bad, we're all under sin. Now, it's very important to understand that it means to be under sin. Man is a sinner 4 different ways. God is giving man 4 strikes. In baseball, you get only 3. 1, man is a sinner by act. Number 2, man is a sinner by nature. Sinning does not make a sinner. We sin because we are sinners. Number 3, man is a sinner by imputation. We'll see that later in this epistle. Number 4, the estate of man is under sin. We all are under sin, the entire human family. That is the first charge. And so that concludes that section, and we'll move on to the next section.